Yes. I think we have a domination problem here. Emotional domination, dominion by someone with superior ability or resources. Yeah. The thought that I myself, as an inferior, right, wouldn't want you put away for approximately 4,000 years. Yes. Well, these laws have to be enforced. You cannot use forgeries as petitioners playing the part of an actress so that my sons are kidnapped and they are unable to reside with me because you had to get paid to make a show. Oprah. And then there are the fish, the dogfish, yes, those sharks that are, well, let's say, the sheriff said, I'm mentally ill for knowing I was not in swim. Yes, that would be a lie on the part of the sheriff. Yes. And Bill Benedict got paid from one of my relatives right now. That's motive. Poop. You lied about my mental health because of the amount of money that you got paid. Yes. Now, for the little leprechaun and the monsters that said, well, we're just going to be the little evil family that we are. Yes. And you're going to use my sperm to make boys and girls. Yes. I find any child that should be residing with me right now because they're my biological children, you will get sued for the kidnapping, little monster. Now, who was it that decided that there were going to be total motive? What you're doing is just too important to enforce the laws of the United States. There's some National Security Council concerns. Is there a Marine general that's concerned that if we don't have the availability of throwing little babies on people, that we can't be on them, we won't know what they're doing? you know, the use of DNA is really not a very good way to control or dominate the population. I dislike eating foods that cause any sort of effect on my person other than just the nutritional value. Now, this is a donation, a gift to charity. Yes, something especially money that someone gives to a person or organization and by way of help. Yes. Now, the distinguished donation transaction intended as a donation but labeled, characterized, or concealed as another type of transaction. A transaction styled as a sale in which the price is only nominal may be a donation in disguise. Now, in the Louisiana Civil Code, Article 2464, Louisiana jurisprudence distinguishes sham transactions, which have no effect at all, from disguised donations, which are intended by the parties to be valid, but are not represented as donations on their face. See Woolley versus Lochsinger. Yeah. Now, for all the wells that you gave money to Mike to drill, yes, and I thought it was money laundering. Are you sure, as an organization, that you yourselves aren't money laundering? I mean, did anybody donate any money to Rotary other than just the membership dues? Now, as an organization, yes, I need to know. Okay. These donations to a charity known as Rotary, yes, that would not prosecute for the fraudulent use of the maternity fraud, yes, the child abuse that violates the Child Protection Act, pooch. This Rotary that receives donations because of the special gifts, somehow I'm thinking Rotary International is really on the hook. I mean, as a father, you can appreciate that if I find any child, yes, let's say my 5 sons, and you decide to make lookalikes out of them, ooch, or Heidi used her eggs without my knowledge, even though she might have used some sort of chromium, or you decided to use my family as a communication system, and you had to have a dog in Washington, D.C., and a dog in Washington State, or you decided that you'd support my uncle, my mother, and my aunt in their whole idea of, well, we just have to do this right now. Rotary. I want to know every donation. And then I want to know, right, Louisiana code, yes. Was the intended use by the parties valid? Or was it disguised as a donation with no actual transaction took place? Could you get me all the tax deductible receipts and then the actual assets that were given that were not monetary, they weren't actual money, like artwork. In fact, you know what? Why don't you give me all the actual items that have been donated to Rotary for the last 40 years that were not a cash donation? And then I'd like to know, well, what do they value that? I mean, if I gave you, let's say I gave you an old car that's really worth $500 if I was to sell it. Yes. But you gave me a 5,000, you accidentally put an extra O on it. Oh, a $5,000 donation for a $500 car. In fact, could you call Foursquare for me? Pooch, I'm going to need to know every non-cash donation to each and every Foursquare church, Dave Beach. Yes, because I did see that Marilyn was at church on Sunday. Pooh. And you wouldn't want me to be concerned as if there was a Marilyn, yes, and then there was a Marilee. Ooch. There's no way that you have been not donations purely gratuitous Louisiana unconditional inter vivos gift. You know, I know that you would say that Marilyn was at church on Sunday because I went to the YouTube channel and I watched it. Yes. But for every individual as the employees of, well, you don't enforce the Child Protection Act. You don't enforce the actual, well, let's say you're just an accessory. You're a little complicit in whatever it is that you're doing is so important. Yes. And Mike gets multiple life terms, yes, for everything that he manufactured as a people breeder. Now, well, it would be kidnapping all those little. Well, what if you got 7,000 years in prison? How much time would you get in fucking prison?